Hello friends, welcome to BSc Agriculture. If you are coming to my channel for the first time, then don't forget to hit the subscribe buttons. Your subscription and likes are always motivating us. So let's move to the video. In this video, we are going to see about fundamentals of biochemistry. I am going to teach you Unit 4, which is the continuation of glycose and citric acid cycle. The lecture topic is pentose phosphate pathway. So while going to see about pentose phosphate pathway, which can be also known as phosphogluconate pathway as well as hexose monophosphate shunt. So these are the other two names given for this pathway. So while seeing about this pathway, it is said to be known as a linear part of the pathway, and the oxidation and decarboxylation of 6C sugar glucose 6 phosphate producing the 5C sugar ribulose 5 phosphate as the end product is the final product of this pathway. So in the process, the glucose 6 dehydrogenase is used to act on the glucose 6 phosphate, and which the NADP plus is converted to NADPH plus, where the NADP plus is an electron acceptor. So electron acceptor as well as the the process is converted the glucose 6 phosphate into 6 gluconate phosphate lactose in the process, and after that the 6 gluconase lactonase used to act on 6 phosphogluconate and used to remove the water from the compound with the release of H plus ion and used to produce a straight compound known as 6 phosphogluconate in this process. And after the presence of it's what used to be said in this, the 6 phosphogluconate lactase used to hydrolyze the ester bonds, in which the opening of ring structure to produce 6 phosphogluconate as the product. And after that the 6 phosphogluconate used to undergo and reaction in the presence of phosphogluconate dehydrogenase enzyme, where the NADP plus is converted to NADPH with the release of CO2, and at here NADP plus act as an oxidant. So before we have seen it as electron acceptor, but at this period it used to serve as an oxidant, and which it used to form a ribulose 5 phosphate as their final product. So I have given the pictures of nicotinamide nucleus, where it is esterified in the presence of NADPH and nicotinamide. So just remember this picture. So in this process we have even the cycles we are going to see about epimerase and isomerase, where the ribulose 5 phosphate is used to show these two properties, where the interstereomers, where they interconvert into stereomers like ribulose 5 phosphate and xylose 5 phosphate is known as epimerase, as well as isomerase is that the ribulose 5 phosphate is converted to adenose ribose 5 phosphate is known as isomerase, where the changing of carbon compounds used to say in this process. And the xylose and the ribose 5 phosphate even go for a transkeratolase process, at which the xylose 5 phosphate plus ribose 5 phosphate used to produce a true fragment of glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate as well as pseudohypnose 7 phosphate in this process. And in tetrakeratolase used to form a prosthetic group, a TPP, we have already told that, which is a thiamine pyrophosphate, which is a derivative of vitamin B1, is used to be utilized during the tetrakeratolase process. So while seeing the process fragments, they used to transfer 2 carbon fragments to the 5 carbon aldolose ribose phosphate, which yields the pseudohypnose 7 phosphate, and the 2 fragment instead to form a 4 carbon adohypnose erythrose 4 phosphate yield fructose 6 phosphate in this product if it goes in the 4 carbon compound. And transtolase used to catalyze the transfer of 3 carbon dihydroxyacetone moiety from where the pseudohypnose 7 phosphate to produce the glyceraldehyde 3 phosphate as the end one in this process. So while summarizing, I have given you a simple summarization of the 15 carbons which is completely taken, where the 3,5 ribulose 5-phosphate is taken, and 1 ribulose phosphate is isomerisally stagnant, and epimerase is used to form xylose 5-phosphate and used to produce a glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate as well as pseudohypnose 7-phosphate in the first product, and after that it used to go for fructose 6-phosphate as well as erythrose 4-phosphate process, and after that the xylose used to comes to erythrose 6,4-phosphate and used to form fructose 6-phosphate as well as glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So the short forms I have given is the first IS is isomerase and EP is epimerase, and 3K is transketolose and TA is transaldolose. So these are the process in the pentose phosphate pathway cycle. So while seeing the balancing, the 3 5-carbon compounds are used to be converted to 2 6-carbon compounds plus the 1 3-carbon compound by the process of transketolase, transaldolase, ketolase. So these are used to be known as the enzymes of gluconeogenesis in this process. And also we are used to see that the glucose 6-phosphate is converted to the ribose 5-phosphate in the presence of a ribose 5-phosphate phosphatase and NADPH, and the ribulose 5-phosphate may be even converted to the substrate synthesis of nucleotides and nucleic acid. So this pathway even used to produce NADPH, which is an energy compound to our body. And while seeing the other things, those ribose 5-phosphate and ribulose 5-phosphate used to produce fructose 6 and glyceraldehyde 6-phosphate with the maximum conversion of NADPH, where the maximum flow formation is used to be occur, and in pentose phosphate pathway producing NADPH and ATP used to for the glycolysis for the production of ATP in this process. And after that the ribulose 1 is used to be generated during catabolism of nucleotides and enter glycolysis in the way was first covered it as ribulose 5-phosphate, and PPP, which is pentose phosphate pathway, serves as an entry into glycolysis for both 5-carbon and 6-carbon sugars from this process. So up to now the cycle is fully completed. Now we are going to see about the metabolic significance of HMP, which is a pentose phosphate pathway significance. So the major function of HMP shunt is used for the production of reduced NADP, which is used for other catalyzation of other process which is outside the mitochondria, and the phosphate used to produce ribose for nucleotides and nucleic acid synthesis in our human bodies. It also produces erythrose, which is required for the synthesis of phenolic and other aromatic compounds through schemate pathway, which is another pathway after the pentose phosphate pathway. So now we must need to know the difference between these two pathways of glycolysis and HMP shunt. So these two major pathways are meant to be used for the major catabolysis of glycolysis. So the major difference are the ATP is not generated in HMP pathway, while the ATP is generated in glycolysis pathway, and pentose pathway all generated in the HMP pathway, while it is not produced in the glycolysis, and NADH is produced in glycolytic pathway and NADPH is produced in HMP shunt. So I have also told as well as summarized the total process of pentose phosphate pathway and the difference and significance in this lecture. So I have also given the lecture notes in the description. If you have any doubts, please comment in the comment box, and if you like the video, like it and share it with your friends, and subscribe to BSc Agriculture and hit the bell icon to get regular updates. So thanks for watching the video. Thank you. I will catch you up in next videos.